Good morning, it's Sharon, and I get to go to court today. So I am really an investor, and I've been a landlord since 1986. And a lot of people I talk to, I ask them if they want to invest in real estate, and they're like, I just want to buy and flip. I don't want to hold on. I don't want to be a landlord. It's not really that bad being a landlord, and there's some good tax benefits to being a landlord. And it's awesome to help people live in an amazing home. However, when you get a tenant that doesn't want to pay rent or that uses excuses that aren't for real or makes up lies, you got to get them out of your property. Now, like I said, I've been a landlord since 1986. I had 12 properties at one time, and now I'm down to 5 because I figured out how many do you need to retire, and that's what you want to do. How many properties do you need to retire? And you'll do baby steps just like I did. I bought a small condo and worked my way up. So now with the eviction process, you always want to do, and it's so funny because I argued with my attorney many times because I always wanted a lease so that if they moved out, I could sue them for the lease. Well, even if you sue somebody for the money, then you got to go get it. So he kept telling me month to month, month to month. Well, this time month to month paid off. So with month to month, all you have to do is you give them their 30-day notice to terminate the lease. It looks like that. If you want a copy, just let me know. I'll give you a free copy of the notice to terminate tenancy. And that piece of paper is amazing because it has all the section codes as to why I can evict him. So, and that's current on COVID issues. So I gave that to him on December 19th. He was supposed to be out of my home by January 20th. And he's telling me, well, I'm not going to move. I'm not intending to move. His wife already moved out. And so at this point, I have to do the actual eviction paperwork, which is going down to the courthouse and filing it. But there's certain things you have to have. And depending on what state or county you're in, you want to make sure you have all the right paperwork. And that's why I have Bill, my attorney. So if anybody wants his information, he will walk you through for a nominal fee and help you with the eviction. So you have to have a civil case cover sheet. Okay, the civil case cover sheet has to be completely filled out. And then there's a new mandatory cover sheet. It's the plaintiff's mandatory cover sheet. So I'll give you the form numbers. The form for the civil case sheet is CM010. The one for the mandatory unlawful detainer cover sheet is UD for unlawful detainer 101. Then the next thing that you have to have after you have the mandatory cover sheet is the summons. And the summons is number 130. So that's 130. And then you have your actual unlawful detainer form, which is UD 100, okay? And you keep going. After the unlawful detainer form, you have to have your exhibits. Exhibit 1, the lease. It's not a lease, it's a month-to-month. If it's a month-to-month, it's different to evict than a lease. So make sure month-to-month is the best way that you have the protection to be able to evict your tenants for possession. So I'm evicting for possession. I'm evicting for possession. I'm not evicting for the rent, okay? So, and then the next thing you have to have after you have your lease is you have to have, that's exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is the notice, and exhibit 3 is the proof of service that you served him to notice. You put those all together. I always make 3 copies because I want 1 copy for me stamped by the court, 1 copy for my tenant because I have to serve him with it, and 1 copy for the court. So court, me, and my tenant. So I'm going to go to the courthouse right now. It's going to cost me about $460. You have to take a check with you in Orange County. So I'm going to take a check. I'm going to file this. And then tonight I'm going to pay a visit to my property. And you have to have somebody else serve them. And you can't serve them personally. So you can serve them for the notice of tenancy. You can go and serve them, but you have to document how you serve them. Make sure you serve them correctly. And then after that, you do the next step, which is going ahead and getting this filed in the court, serving him, and then waiting for your court date. So again, I'm not an attorney. I'm just sharing with you how I'm doing my steps to evict my tenant. And if you have any questions, you can contact me and I'll give you my attorney's name because he's awesome. And he'll help you evict anybody who's supposed to be making rent and can actually make rent. Okay, so real quick, like on the COVID situation. So on the COVID situation, if you have somebody who really cannot afford their rent, there's so many options. For instance, one of my friends, she has a really hard time because of COVID, she could not work because she's a caregiver. And if she's exposed, she can't take care of her patients. So even if she's just exposed for a short period of time by her kids who might have done something like her kids flew to see their relatives for Christmas, they came back, she had to quarantine before she could work. So I told her about all the different options that you have, because COVID, with all the regulations and rules, they are trying to help us. And so I talked to her about being an independent contractor. She didn't know as an independent contractor, she could go and get unemployment if she could prove, if you can prove, I just said, if she can prove that she worked the prior year as an independent contractor. As for some additional help, depending on your county, she lives in LA County, and she was able to get LA County to pay her landlord for, I believe it was 5 to 6 months. So look for those options that you have. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. But good luck with everything, and I love to help you in real estate.